talk. We had a wild week last week in sports, so we're getting ready to get started with this week. In our first matchup today, we have, for this weekend, we have Rutgers at Cincinnati. Rutgers is one lost team. I like Rutgers in this matchup.
Yeah, me too. I got Rutgers. I'm going Rutgers too.
In our second game, we have Duke at Georgia Tech. I think Georgia Tech just embarrassed Carolina last week on their homecoming.
Embarrassed.
And I think they're going to continue that this week at home against Duke. I don't think Duke has an answer, although Duke is getting better and they're improving each week. I think Georgia Tech wins this game big.
Didn't Duke just come off that loss from Clemson? Georgia Tech, I have to take back my words that I said about them last week. They're running wild. They're going to run over Duke.
They'll run over Duke too.
In our next matchup, we have Texas Tech at Oklahoma State. I think I like Oklahoma State in this matchup. Texas Tech, they're okay. Oklahoma State, they're playing well. I think I like Oklahoma State in this matchup. Oklahoma State, they score a lot of points. I don't think Texas Tech really has to answer.
I'm gonna go with Oklahoma State. Also, I like Oklahoma State over Texas Tech. That's gonna be a gun. That's gonna be a gunfight.
I'm going with Texas Tech because Oklahoma defense has improved to be to stop the pass. And Texas Tech had a great passing attack, which they had seen against West Virginia. So I'm going with Texas Tech.
In our next game, we have Ohio State versus Wisconsin. This matchup, I'm going to pick against Saltwell here. I'm going to go with Wisconsin. And I believe that Wisconsin, they still have something to play for, if anything, just a little bit of pride. Ohio State has had a storied season, although they can't win anything. They're undefeated, but I think that ends this week against Wisconsin.
I think the one-man highlight show in Braxton Miller, he should be top ranked in the Heisman. I feel like Ohio State is going to beat Wisconsin. Monty Ball, he's had a good season on the ground. But I just got Ohio State in this is crazy. I got Ohio State.
I think Ohio State too. Braxton Mills playing good ball. I don't think Wisconsin is good enough this year to play against an Ohio State team, so I'm picking Ohio State.
In our next matchup, we have Oklahoma versus West Virginia. I'm going to go with Oklahoma here. West Virginia, they're still struggling. They're down. It's been bad watching them play this year. I hate that their program is taking a turn for the worse. I think it's going to get even worse this week at home against Oklahoma.
I'm gonna agree with you. West Virginia, they just, what happened to them? They just vanished after they put up so many points. They let everybody down. I got Oklahoma.
Both of these teams are struggling, so it's kind of hard to pick. So I'm going with West Virginia because West Virginia have more athletes than Oklahoma do at the moment, and Oklahoma's not playing good defense.
West Virginia always has athletes.
Yes, but if Tavon also has a good game, they will win.
In our next game, we have USC versus UCLA. In this game, I'm going to go with USC. I thought that USC would be down after their hard-fought battle with Oregon, but they proved otherwise last week against Arizona State. I think that they take care of UCLA pretty easily. Although UCLA has been decent this season, I think USC goes on the road and steals that game.
I got this one for USC in a close game. UCLA, they're just gonna fall a little short because those receivers are just terrific out there at Southern Cal.
I'm going with USC too.
Can anybody tell me about UCLA offense?
I can.
What is their offense very similar to?
Oregon's. And they have a great back and a great quarterback.
But I don't know that Monty Kiffin's defense will allow that to happen to him.
No.
Yeah.
Y'all said against Oregon.
I don't know if they have the same skill set as Oregon's players. That was the difference in that game. Oregon's
I'm glad Graham said that. I take that back. I got UCLA this one just for a simple fact. UCLA has been playing great offensive football, and I don't think the running back has been running pretty good, so I'm going to go UCLA.
And USC has proven the last few weeks that they can't score.
Well, it's too late.
And our next game, we have Stanford versus Oregon. Stanford has been picking it up a little bit. I think this is an upset. I think I'm gonna go with Stanford this week.
Upset. Upset.
You got the upset too, Saltwell.
Ooh, man, this one does sound good. Stanford, they all playing good ball. They came out there and they proved me wrong last week when I took them to lose. But I might make the same mistake twice, and I'm going with Oregon. You know, the athletes on the other side of the ball will make the
But
difference.
you have to keep in mind that Stanford, for the last few weeks, they have been hyped. They're getting hyped for this Oregon game. I think that's the reason why they've been
What
playing
you
so
fail to
well.
realize
I think
is-
they're hyped. I think they're going to be ready to play. I know they're going to be ready to
Listen
play.
what you- listen what you said.
They're going to win.
They got hype all year last year when they had Andrew Luck, and what did we do?
Oh,
at
yeah,
the building.
But I think they still have a bitter taste in their mouth from that game. And I
Yes,
think
they
they're
do, and
gonna-
they're gonna have another bad taste.
No, I think they're gonna steal this game on the road. I think
I
that's
think
that's
it'll
their
be
own
about.
upset.
I think it'll be the score will be 54-14 final.
No.
Ooh, big words. Oregon has been putting up a lot of points to back that up.
54-14.
And our next matchup, we have Notre Dame versus Wake Forest. I think this is gonna be an easy game. Notre Dame easily on the road against Wake Forest easily.
This is gonna be sad.
Yeah, this is gonna be the matchup.
I'm going to disagree with what you said.
Wake Forest is gonna win.
I'm not saying that. I don't think it's going to be an easy win.
Did you know that Wake Forest
They didn't
got
have an
beat?
easy win to get Boston College.
That's a rivalry game. Wake Forest got beat at home versus Duke. At home.
Versus who?
Duke at home. Duke beat them at home.
Who?
Duke. Exactly. Who? So
Spell
you're
it.
telling me that Duke can beat Wake Forest on the road, but Notre Dame can't?
Spell it.
I said I didn't say Wake Forest would win. I
Spell
said it'd be a tough game. They struggled against Boston College.
Man, Boston College was a long, college football team. That was a while back. I got Notre Dame. If they don't blow this one wide open, then they don't deserve to go to the national championship.
Yeah, this game is gonna get it.
If they score 20 points final, I don't think they deserve to be in the top 3.
And our next game, we're gonna have Mount Tabor at North Davidson. This has been a story season for North Davidson. My deepest, congratulations goes out to their coach and their players. I think that they've really picking it up. I think they've been playing better since they made the playoffs. I think that this game has potential to get ugly. I think that North Davidson is gonna take care of business at home this week.
Oh boy, you must not have seen the last game. Mount Tabor did have, 2 touchdowns called back. So they should have technically been up about
I
20 to 7,
I
20
understand that,
0.
but we gotta understand that over the course of the season, it's like North Davidson has just gotten better.
And what was it? Wasn't it on special teams? Special teams touchdowns, so special teams will make
me,
the difference again.
I'm-
I got Mount Tabor.
I'm gonna go back to college football for a minute. Just like Bama and LSU when they played, it was 6-7 final score, right? And championship, Bama won 21-0, right? I'm gonna go with Mount Tabor. Mount Tabor is a all-around better team that has a better quarterback. He can run the ball, he can throw. I'm gonna go with Mount Tabor.
But Chase Mitchell's had a pretty decent season too.
Hey, Mount
Tabor is just better. I think that
defense is
Tabor's
playing
better.
good.
Tabor-
Offense is playing
Tabor's gonna play better.
And all the weapons that North Davidson has.
North Davidson,
Honestly,
to be honest, North Davidson don't have a lot of weapons.
They offensively.
Who they got? They got 2 running backs, maybe 3
I
running backs.
mean,
Keep
weeks ago,
going.
their quarterback, he was like 23 for 26 the other week. I mean, so like they're a good football team, and it's like they're just getting better as the weeks
I'm
progress.
going with Mount Tabor.
And so is Mount Tabor getting better as the weeks progress. I feel like the first time they left a bitter taste in their mouth, and they're coming out to play this time. And this time it has a whole lot on the line. This could be between.
And the thing about North Davidson is they understand Mount Tabor is the type of team that they will be back in this predicament. I don't think North Davidson will be back, and so North Davidson has a little more to play for.
Listen, I'm going with the upset at North Davidson. They go away. Tabor wins.
I got Mount Tabor too. They got a lot riding on it. Twitter talk. We got all the old guys saying, do this one for last year. I feel like Mount Tabor's gonna do it.
I got the final score 28-10. Tabor.
I guess we'll all see tonight. And in our last and final game, we have Thomasville at East Lincoln. East Lincoln is undefeated. Thomasville, nobody has really been able to touch Gary Brock in the last 4 or 5 weeks, but East Lincoln, that's just too much. They have too many weapons. That quarterback, he missed like 3 games and he's still throwing for over 3,500 yards. So, yeah, so East
They
Lincoln.
throw the ball, Thomasville in trouble.
Yeah, that's all they do is throw the ball. 3,500 yards and he missed 3 games. Yeah. So, I like East Lincoln.
If they throw the ball like what it sounds like, the East Lincoln will win.
I'm gonna tell you the key to this game. The key to this game is stop is on defense for East Lincoln. Gabe Rocky, he touches the ball about 35 plus times a game.
45.
45 plus times a game. Like if you hit him in the mouth after about 15 carries, you know, that engine's gonna stop running. He's had a long run. He's a good player, but you know, you can't have all that wear and tear on one guy.
What about Andrews and Salisbury?
Woo! 2 option teams, 2 heavy running option teams.
I'm going.
The wing T of Andrews versus the funky wing of Salisbury.
That's tough. That's a real tough
Tough game. I
Where's the game located at?
It's an
Andrews.
Andrews.
got
Never
the
mind.
Red Raiders.
Yeah, I like Andrews.
I got the Red Raiders.
I think it's gonna be a great football game though. I think it's gonna be a great football game.
I'm going with the Hornets.
What you think the quarterback of the Salisbury gonna do this game?
Oh, I think that he's a senior. I know he's gonna come out and play tonight. This could be it. But I like Andrews.
Hey, he gonna ball
I think the
out.
home field advantage is just gonna.
I'm going with the
Their
Hornets.
coaches came in to meet with me about defending Salisbury. And all thing I kept hearing them say is, Coach, what about all the information? If Andrews get concerned about all Salisbury formations,
That's when
they will be in trouble.
They will be
You can't worry about the formation. At the end of the day, they're gonna be even. It's what I told their coaches. You put people in B gap, you'll stop Salisbury. And if your guys play the perimeter well, you'll stop Salisbury. But if you don't, they will eat you up.
And
It's gonna be a great
if,
football game.
if Andrews don't have linebackers and defensive end that can contain the outside, 44 will burn them all night.
And then let's not mention the quarterback.
And
So,
the quarterback is even faster
He's an
overall.
athlete.
Andrews plays some big games though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they
I
have that big game before. I
haven't
like
kept
that.
much track of them, but the one game I did hear about them, they did crush Carver and Carver.
Carver's not that great this year.
But still, I said I didn't keep track of much games that they played, but the one game I did keep track of, they crushed them. So I gotta go off what I know. I got Andrews.
And finally, we have our Heisman watch. At the top of my list is still Colin Klein. This has been a phenomenal season for him.
KB.
I agree. Phenomenal season. He's making history. His program has made history.
KB.
I think it's just great to watch him play.
I don't think Colin Klein is that great to be a Heisman Trophy.
So you're telling me him making history like he has done at Kansas State?
It's at Kansas State.
What? That undefeated
It's not
has never happened in their program before.
It's not hard to make history at Kansas State.
What? That's how teams. Bro, it's easy. It's
Who
hard.
has been good that came from Kansas State lately?
Thank you. That's why he's making history.
That's my point.
And that's why he's at the top of the house.
What I'm saying is it's not hard to make history at Kansas State.
But I'm saying this is the first time in their school they have ever been number one. That's not the accomplishment him leading his team to be the number
So
one
you
team in the
tell me,
country right
honestly,
now.
I know you hate Oregon. You telling me you would put Colin Klein over Kenyon Barner?
Yes.
Why?
Because Colin Klein has done something that has never been done before. He's leading his troops, his ship to the promised land, and he's gonna make it to the
So
national-
far. So far.
But if his season ended today, he still deserves to be the Heisman.
I don't think so.
Yes.
No.
Definitely.
Definitely
What
not.
do you think? Klein is, he's the U.S. phenomenon right now.
Yeah.
So I would have to put him ahead of Kenyon Barner at this moment. Kenyon Barner, not trying to put him down, not trying to say he's number 2, but Colin Klein, he's just out there doing his thing. And if Colin Klein wasn't playing for Kansas State, Kansas State would be in trouble. But if Kenyon Barner wasn't playing with Oregon has multiple weapons, they still would have the same amount of wins. that they have.
And to include this, we threw the ball against Cal the whole game. And people said we can't throw the ball.
What does that have to do with the Heisman?
I'm just throwing it in there.
He's saying
I'm just saying.
he's saying that Kenyon Barner took the game
Yeah.
off, basically.
He had 65 total rushing yards a game.
Well, Heisman players don't take
I mean,
We threw the
anybody
ball.
Well, Heisman
I feel like Braxton Miller should be in there too.
What about Johnny Football?
Johnny Football, he's making the
Now, okay, I'm like, I would put Johnny Manziel over Colin Klein. Quarterback wise, he's a better quarterback than Colin Klein.
We're not asking.
He's smart.
We're not asking about
He's
who's the best player.
He's an underrated passer.
Thank you for bringing that tie to
He's an underrated passer. I haven't seen Colin Klein throw a ball. Every time I see him, he's always running. I have not heard about him throwing the ball.
Listen, we're not asking.
All I hear about is this.
There are some great
All I hear
college.
about
There
this.
are some great college football players.
It's
We're not
not-
asking about who's the best player. We're asking about who's having the best season and whose team is
Johnny
showing that.
Manziel is he beat the best team so-called in the country of all time.
I'm not arguing that Johnny Manziel hasn't had a great season.
I'm saying that he's better than Colin Klein.
I'm not saying he's not better than Cole. I'm saying who deserves to be the Heisman, and the answer to that is Cole Klein. His team is the number one team in the country, and he's doing something.
They don't deserve to be number one.
What? They're undefeated.
They're
They play a tougher skill. Who deserves to be number one? Order.
See,
Alright, don't start
What
that. We're not gonna get on that
what I'm gonna
subject.
explain to y'all about
We're
this
talking
tougher
about the
schedule.
Heisman watch. Not tougher schedule.
The Big 12 hasn't shown to be good this year. None of the teams, to be honest, just because of the name sounds like, oh yeah, he has a tough schedule. Nobody in the Big 12 is good
But
this
you
year.
are the same guy that said the name recognition does mean a lot.
It does, I understand that, but I'm saying the Big 12 is not what people making it think it is, bro. They have not really been playing nobody.
So what is
Who have they
what
played?
is the
Oklahoma?
Pac-12? What is the Pac-12?
Oklahoma?
What is the Pac-12?
Oklahoma will run your conference.
You
They
talking
will win
dog.
it. If you weren't there, they would win it. Yes, they
You
would.
saying Oregon went there?
Yeah, they would
You
win it.
might be right.
Okay.
Oklahoma better than USC?
I don't know. I don't
I
know.
feel like they could be better.
No.
than USC.
What about Ohio State? If they wasn't on probation, where would they be right now?
Number 5.
Right now we be sitting on the outside looking in because our schedule strength isn't tough and we have too many close games. In 7 games we've put up over 30 points, but in four of those games we've put up what plus 50 and let's see, we did have some scares. We had a scare against Purdue, Indiana, and Cal. So but right now we be on the outside looking in. I definitely wouldn't be controlled by us. We'd be
I don't-
controlled by other teams.
Honestly, I don't think Ohio State has enough athletes to win a national championship this year. Maybe in next year, maybe the year after that, but this year, no.
I don't know. Well, I can tell you right
And-
now, Oregon won't win the national championship this year. You can quote me on that.
True.
All right, play that tape back.
Trending topics.
January 9th, play it back after the national championship game.
Like look at him on
Trending topics. Number 1. Who fault is it at Philadelphia? The coach, offensive line, or Michael Vick?
Well, I would say everybody but the coach. Michael Vick has been terrible. And as B-Dot said on 1 or 2 jams the other morning, some games like the offensive line don't even show up.
I'm going with the offensive line.
So I'm saying it's a combination of Vick and the line. Vick has been
The
equally.
defense sucked too.
Oh
You
yeah.
got
but
It doesn't help that he converted his offensive line coach to defensive coordinator.
when Vic got injured the other night, Foles came in and did a pretty good job.
It seemed like they blocked better for him. Though.
Yeah, to me,
maybe
they
the
blocked.
line and quarterback chemistry is off, but right now it's the offensive line.
And to be honest,
winning games starts.
I like Foles better than that offense. They need a more of a passer type quarterback to fit that offense. If I'm not mistaken, they run a West Coast offense.
Yeah.
I think they need more of a that type of quarterback than Vic.
If they see that chemistry with Foles in the offense.
But not to say that Andy Reid is safe though, because
If I was to put Vic somewhere, it'd be somewhere like San Francisco, that type of offense. I wouldn't put him in.
that's not saying that
He's not no West Coast
that Andy
quarterback.
Reid is safe because there's a few coaches that may be jobless at the end of this year. Hopefully,
Ron Rivera.
Maybe Norv Turner, Rex Ryan, maybe even Jason Garrett, depending upon how the Cowboys finish up.
I really like Rex Ryan as a coach. I mean, some people don't like. I really like him as a coach. I don't think it's his fault.
It's not about liking people; it's about winning games.
I
And the
understand.
Jets
too.
have a strong
But I
fan
think
base.
he's a great coach. I like him. I'm not a Jet fan. I never really follow him like that. But whenever I have seen him talk, I like what he says.
What about trending topic number 2? The Jets locker room. Tim Tebow, Sanchez.
At this point right now, I would try Tebow.
I would. At this point,
Why not give
honestly,
somebody else a chance?
Your quarterback is
Sanchez
playing that
is
terrible.
sorry.
It
He
is
is
time for
horrible.
Tebow to get on
But
the
y'all might not have heard the players on the team
they
say
say Sanchez, right?
No, they said Sanchez. There ain't no way Tebow should start. He's not a quarterback. That's what the players in their locker room
Do
say.
you see what he did those 2 games in Denver? And he's not a quarterback. Quarterback wins
He
games.
led his team to the
Quarterback
playoffs.
wins
They
games.
faced the monster in the Patriots last year.
And they beat the Steelers in the playoffs.
Yeah, but that's on another thing. But as I was saying, you know, facing what he had faced, you know, he was a miracle. You know, yeah, you know.
I can tell what you said there.
Yeah. You know, Tim Tebow was rolling last year. He was rolling off momentum or whatever you want to call it. But it's time to give Tebow his shine in New York.
Well, actually, I believe that, honestly, I don't think that Tebow is the answer, but Sanchez is definitely not the answer. I think they just have some personnel issues right now. I think Tebow was a distraction. I don't think they actually should have brought him in. And Rex Ryan, I think it was just a publicity stunt. I just don't think it was a good idea.
If Tebow's not a quarterback, then what is it?
I didn't say it wasn't a quarterback. I just said he's not
He's
the
showing
best
up
for the
as a
job.
special teams player. That guy does not block his shoulder on the front team.
All right, we're gonna start off right now in last place, D Hen with 15-8. Second place, G Baby, 16-7. And first place, T Sock, 18-5. So we'll start off with D Hen with his final thoughts. Anything.
Back to the Heisman. I know I'll never say this, but I actually like Mac Barkley over Cole Klein. I'm just bringing out quarterbacks that I think this is better than Colin Klein. I haven't seen Colin Klein prove to me that he's a Heisman finalist, and that's all I'm gonna say about that.
All right, check it.
No, you last.
Okay. Well, getting off subject a little bit, I think the Lakers, I think what they pulled and hired Mike D'Antoni was the worst move in maybe NBA history. I think we should have stuck with Phil Jackson, went back with him, but that was just terrible. But yeah, go down.
Oh,
All right, the Princeton offense in basketball is terrible. Let me state that first. The BCS, it is getting tight and it is getting close. All these games this week are key games. Let's see, what else was I going to talk about at 18-5? Oh yeah, let's talk about some college basketball next week. Let's talk about some NBA next week. You know, Duke rolled on Kentucky. You know, a young team, but here at Lexington Sports Talk, this is us saying out.
Thank you.